Child Story Box.
Clover and the Time-Twirled Barn. Clover, the purple and white calf, was exploring the back fields when she heard a sound. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Behind a curtain of sunflowers stood an ancient red barn, its door creaking open as if waiting for her. Inside, the walls shimmered with glowing clocks, and in the center stood a swirling hourglass with floating stardust. Clover stepped inside, and time twisted. When Clover woke up the next day, everything felt backward. The rooster crowed at bedtime. The cows had breakfast before milking. Even Clover's spots were reversed. She ran to the barn, where the hourglass spun wildly. I think I've slipped into yesterday. Deep in the barn, Clover found a friendly, gear-powered mechanical cow named Tilly. Tilly had bronze hooves and a tick-tocking tail. I help guide travelers through time, Tilly explained. Clover's eyes sparkled. Then let's figure out how to get back to today. Tilly and Clover tried to reset the hourglass, but accidentally stopped time completely. Birds were stuck mid-flight. A sneeze from a goat stayed frozen in the air. Clover had to tiptoe across paused puddles to reach the gear lever. Oops, let's not do that again, she whispered. Clover tried turning the hourglass again. This time, time sped up. Her grass turned yellow in seconds, apples ripened and fell, and by the time she blinked, the sunset had arrived. Okay. Too fast, she cried, chasing her own galloping shadow. Clover landed in a moment called eternal lunchtime, where sandwiches floated in the air and milk jugs refilled forever. At first, it was delicious. But after 73 sandwiches, Clover begged, please, just one breakfast. She knew she had to reset time once and for all. Inside the barn's attic, Clover found a large mirror that showed her memories, her first step, her first moo, her favorite flower chase. Each memory sparkled like a gem. I don't want to lose these, Clover said, holding her heart. Tilly led Clover to a garden where each flower bloomed with a different time of day. Dawn daisies, noon poppies, twilight tulips. You must pick the right blossom to find balance, said Tilly. Clover picked a tiny moonflower, gentle and steady. Clover peeked through the future window and saw herself, taller, wiser, wearing a time buckle around her neck. I become a timekeeper, she gasped, but she knew the journey wasn't over yet. She still had this moment to live. The barn threw a parade across time. Animals from the past and future marched in harmony. Woolly mammoths danced with space chickens. Clover marched proudly with a sash, explorer of moments. She laughed, remembering how it all started with one tick-tock. One evening, a storm brewed over the barn. Lightning struck the weather vane, and suddenly the clocks inside began spinning wildly. Clover and Tilly held on as the hourglass cracked slightly, leaking stardust that shimmered like glittering rain. We need to fix it before time spills out completely, shouted Tilly. Clover woke up and realized something strange. Everyone was mooing, clucking, and neighing. Backwards, Tilly explained. We've entered the backward hour. Clover had to learn to think in reverse to get them out. Maybe, if I walk backward into the barn. Clover finally made a perfect leap through the hourglass during noon, precisely the moment of balance. She floated in a tunnel of glowing clocks and swirling sunlight, weightless and brave. Time bowed politely and said, well done. Tilly gave Clover a gift, a golden pocket watch with missing pieces. If you solve it, you'll control short time hops. Clover chased pieces around the fields, each one showing her a little moment from her past, her first fall, her first flower chase. Clover met a mischievous squirrel named Zip who stole minutes from everyone's day. Zip, return those minutes. Clover scolded. After a chase around the barn's spiral tower, Zip returned the minutes, along with a tiny apology note. Inside the barn's music loft, Clover found a magical flute. When played, it summoned peaceful moments from the past. She played a soft lullaby, and the barn was filled with laughter and mooing memories. Even the clocks ticked a little slower to listen. Clover stepped into a day where shadows were missing, gone completely. Time must be out of sync, said Tilly, frowning. Clover bravely climbed the barn roof and adjusted the sundial. Slowly, shadows returned, dancing at her hooves. Clover discovered a hidden drawer in the hourglass base. Inside, a letter from the first time calf. Moments matter, it read. Even the small ones. Clover smiled. Then I'll protect every second, big or little. It was time for Tilly to move on. You're ready, Clover, she said. You are the new keeper of the barn. Clover hugged her ticking friend. Thank you for teaching me that time isn't just clocks. It's memories. It's choices. Tilly ticked a final tune and vanished into the gears. Now, Clover watches over the magical barn. She helps the sun rise, the clocks chime, and the stars shine on time, but more importantly, she helps others find the beauty in each moment, because time, as Clover now knows, is not about rushing. It's about being.